Capitals of the European Union-Audiobook. The audiobook is a product of the junior ambassadors from the Vocational High School of Tourism Dr. Васил Берон, Велико Търново, for the program for schools ambassadors of the European Parliament. Recordings by Йорданка Петрова, Марианна Стоянова, Румяна Иванова, Ивайло Гасеров, and Деян Христов. Soundtrack by Bulgarian Guide Old School. The audiobook was made with the guidance of engineer Славка Проданова, senior ambassador of the program for schools ambassadors. Brussels is the capital of Belgium. The official founding of Brussels is usually situated around 979, when Duke Charles of Lower Lotharingia transferred the relics of Saint Gudula from Mosel to the Saint Galgericus chapel. The history of Brussels is closely like to that of Western Europe. Traces of human settlement go back to the Stone Age, with vestigates and place names related to its civilization of megaliths, dolmens, and standing stones. During antiquity, the region has home to Roman occupation, as attested by archaeological evidence discovered near to the center. Lambert I of Leveren, Count of Leveren, gained the country of Brussels around the year of 1000 by marrying Charles' daughter. Because of its location on the shores of the Seine, on an important trade route between Bruges and Ghent and Cologne, Brussels became a commercial center specialized in the textile trade. In the 15th century, by means of the wedding of heiress Margaret III of Flanders with Philip the Bold, Duke of Burgundy, a new Duke of Brabant emerged from the House of Valois. In 1477, the Burgundian Duke Charles the Bold perished in the Battle of Nancy. Belgium is a federal state located in the Western Europe, bordering the North Sea. Belgium shares borders with France, 556 kilometers, Germany, 133 kilometers, Luxembourg, 130 kilometers, and the Netherlands, 478 kilometers. Brussels lies in the north-central part of Belgium, about 110 kilometers from the Belgian coast and about 180 kilometers from the southern tip of Belgium. It is located in the heartland of the Brabatian Plateau, about 45 kilometers south of Antwerp and 50 kilometers north of Charleroi. Jean-Claude Van Damme, 96th year, actor. Peter Paul Rubens, 1577 year, painter. Eden Hazard, 1991st year, footballer.
Paris is the capital and most populous city in France, with an administrative limits area of 105 square kilometers, 41 square miles, and an official population of 2,206,488. Name. The name Paris is derived from its early inhabitions, the Celtic Parisii tribe. The city's name is not related to the Paris of Greek mythology. History. The Parisii is a subtribe of the Celtic Senones, inhabited the Paris area from around the middle of the 3rd century BC. The Romans conquered the Paris basin in 52 BC and, after making the island a garrison camp, began extending their settlement in a more permanent way to Paris' left bank. By the end of the Western Roman Empire, the town was known as Parisius, a Latin name that would later become Paris in French. Geography. Paris is located in northern central France. Paris is located in the north bending arc of the river Seine and includes two islands, the Île Saint-Louis and the larger Île de la Cité, which form the oldest part of the city. Famous people. Louis Germain David de Funes de Galarza and Sami Neissari.
Berlin is the capital of Germany. It's the most populated and biggest city in the country, and is the second most populated city in the European Union. History. At the end of the 19th century, Berlin is one of the most important cities for the book publishing. After the First World War, Berlin becomes a place for painters and writers to create. After the Second World War, the city is separated in East Berlin and West Berlin, surrounded by the Berlin Wall. After its reuniting in 1990, the city becomes the capital of Germany. Geography. Berlin is located in East Germany, in mostly marshland. The city is within an area of 892 square kilometers. The modern landscape of Berlin is shaped by the impact of the glaciers formed during the last ice age. Famous people of the country. Albert Einstein, a German physicist, philosopher, and Jewish writer origin. He is considered for one of the most influential and famous scientists of all time. Johann Sebastian Bach, German composer and piano master, recognized as one of the greatest geniuses in the music history around the world. Ludwig van Beethoven, a German classic composer. He is considered to be one of the greatest composers in the history of music. He inspired many composers.
Rome is the capital city of Italy. It had been a capital city of the Roman Empire, the most powerful, the largest and the longest extant empire in the classical Western civilization. The Vatican is a sovereign state, the seat of the Roman Catholic Church and the Pope. Rome is also known as the Eternal City, Excellent City, and the City of the Seven Hills. He was born a few centuries before Christ, in the form of a city-state. In its great power between the 1st century before Christ and 1st century after, the Mediterranean Sea proves to be inward for the Roman Empire by even joining England to its territory. Rome was several times plundered and burned down by different tribes, the most cruel of whom of the Vandals. Eventually the Western civilization collapsed. Rome is located in the Lazio region of central Italy, on the banks of the Tiber River. Although the center of Rome is about 24 kilometers inland, the territory of the city, covering a total of 1,285 square kilometers. Julius Caesar, a politician, Eros Ramazzotti, singer, and Gaetano Fiorenzuola, motor racer, were born there.
Luxembourg City is the capital city of the Grand Duchy of Luxembourg. In the Roman era, a fortified tower guarded the crossing of two Roman roads that met at the site of Luxembourg City. Through an exchange treaty with the Abbey of Saint Maximilian Trier in 963, Siegfried I of the Ardennes, a closer relative of King Louis II of France, and Emperor Otto the Great, acquired the feudal lands of Luxembourg. The highest point of the Grand Duchy of Luxembourg is Knif, at 560 meters, closely followed by Bergplatz at 559 meters and Napoleonsgracht at 554 meters.
Amsterdam is the largest city in the Netherlands. It is located in the western part of the country, in the province of North Holland. Name. The city's current name comes from Amsterdam, which means beaten am Amstel, the river passing through the city. The earliest mention of Amsterdam is in a document of October 27th in 1275, in which Count Floris V frees the inhibitions from tolls. History. Amsterdam begins as a fishing village. In the 13th century, the dome from which Amsterdam received its name was built. The part of the river on the outside, Damrak, is the beginning of the Amsterdam port. In 1667, Amsterdam became the third city in the world, after Paris and Lille, where street lighting was introduced. Geography. It is located in the province of North Holland in Randstad at the mouth of the Amstel River in AY. The Amsterdam port is connected via the North Sea to the North Sea. Famous people. Henrik Vogt is an artist, and Ruud Gullit is a footballer and coach.
Copenhagen is the biggest city and the capital of Denmark. The city is the biggest province, containing 18 municipalities. Copenhagen is a cultural and economical center for Denmark, with its biggest airport, train station, one of the biggest Danish ports, parks, national museum and opera. History. The history of Copenhagen could be traced back until the year of 800, when the center of the city was just a small fishing town. After the economical crisis at the end of the 20th century, the city has been in a cultural and economical upswing for the last decade, on a national and international level. Geography. Located at the east shore of the island of Zealand and partially on the island of Amager, the city is in the list of the 10 best dream cities. Famous people of the country include Niels Bohr, a physician, Mads Mikkelsen, an actor, and Prince Valdemar of Denmark.
Dublin is the capital and the largest city of the Republic of Ireland, chief administrative city of the country of Dublin. The headquarters of the English government in Ireland are in Dublin Castle. Ireland was conquered by the Kingdom of England in 1169. Ireland joined the European Union on 4 January 1973. It is located in the eastern part of the country at the influx of the Waffy River into the Irish Sea. The area is 79,700 square kilometers. The population is almost 5 million people. Bertie Ahern is a politician. Francis Bacon is an artist, and Samuel Beckett, who is a writer, were born there.
London is the capital and most populous city of England and the United Kingdom. It was founded by the Romans in the 43rd year of the New Era. They named it Londinium. Two recent discoveries indicate probable very early settlements near the Thames in the London area. In 1999, the remains of a Bronze Age bridge were found on the foreshore north of Vauxhall Bridge. This bridge either crossed the Thames or gave access to a now lost island in the river. With the collapse of Roman rule in the early 5th century, London ceased to be a capital and the walled city of Londinium was effectively abandoned, although Roman civilization continued in the St. Martin in the Fields area until around 450. From around 500, an Anglo-Saxon settlement known as London Vic developed in the same area, slightly to the west of the old Roman city. After winning the Battle of Hastings, William, Duke of Normandy, was crowned King of England in the newly completed Westminster Abbey on Christmas Day on 1066. William constructed the Tower of London, the first of the many Norman castles in England to be rebuilt in stone in the southeastern corner of the city, to intimidate the native inhabitants. London is the largest urban area and capital city of the United Kingdom, located in southeastern Great Britain. The London region covers an area of 1,579 square kilometers and had a population of 7,172,3600 in 2001 and a population density of 4,542 people per square kilometer. The United Kingdom is a sovereign state located off the northwestern coast of continental Europe.
The United Kingdom lies between the North Atlantic and the North Sea and comes within 35 kilometers of the northwest coast of France, from which it is separated by the English Channel. It shares a 499 kilometers international land boundary with the Republic of Ireland. William Shakespeare, born in 1564 year, poet and playwright. David Beckham, born in 1975 year, a footballer. John Lennon, born in 1940 year, a musician.
Athens is the capital of Greece. It's one of the most important cities in Greece. It's located in central Greece and is the economic, political, and managerial center of the country. In ancient Greek, the name of the city was Athenae. Athens has been continuously inhabited for at least 7,000 years. Following the Greek War of Independence and the establishment of the Greek kingdom, Athens was chosen as the capital of the newly independent Greek state in 1834. Around 80% of Greece's territory contains mountains and hills, which makes it part of the countries with the most mountains in Europe. Aristotle, an ancient Greek philosopher. Archimedes, an ancient mathematic, astronomer, scientist, and engineer.
Lisbon is the capital and the biggest city of Portugal, with a population of 564,477 people. History. Originally founded as a Phoenician or a Greek colony. After being taken by the Romans, the city was added to the Lusitania province. On the 1st of November, 1755, Lisbon was hit by the Great Lisbon earthquake, where almost one-third of the population lost their lives, and a big amount of buildings were destroyed. The city was renovated by the plans of the Marquess of Pombal. Geography. Lisbon is situated at the shore of the Tagus River, near the Atlantic Ocean, and has been a capital of Portugal since 1255. The city has been destroyed multiple times by earthquakes. Famous people of the country are Isaac Abravanel, philosopher and financier, Louis de Chamonix, writer, and Fernando Magellan, a famous seafarer.
Madrid is the capital of Spain. The city is the administrative city of the Autonomous Community of Madrid. As the capital of the kingdom, the seat of the government and the residence of the king, Madrid is also the political, economical and the cultural center of Spain. In 1571, Philip II declared Madrid as capital. When Madrid became capital, it was a 20,000-year-old town which declined in size and imitations of other European capitals. During the times of King Philip II, large-scale construction was undertaken. New courtyards and administrative city buildings and imaging, including the majestic royal palace, Palacio Real. Madrid is the second highest capital in Europe, after Andorra la Vella. It is located in the heart of Spain between the regions of Castile and León and Castilla Mancha. Enrique Iglesias, Penelope Cruz and Raúl, who is footballer, are born there.
Vienna is the capital and largest city of Austria. Name. Evidence has been found of continuous habitation in the Vienna area since 500 BC, when Celts settled the site of the Danube River. In 15 BC, the Romans fortified their frontier city they called Vindobona to guard the empire against Germanic tribes to the north. History. In 1976, Leopold I of Babenberg became Count of the Eastern March, a 60-mile district centering on the Danube on the eastern frontier of Bavaria. This initial district grew into the Duchy of Austria. Each succeeding Babenberg ruler expanded the march east along the Danube. eventually encompassing Vienna and the lands immediately east. In 1804, during the Napoleonic Wars, Vienna became the capital of the Austrian Empire and continued to play a major role in European and world politics, including hosting the Congress of Vienna in 1814 or 1815. After the Austro-Hungarian Compromise of 1867, Vienna remained the capital of what was then the Austro-Hungarian Empire. In 1938, after a triumphant entry into Austria, Austrian-born Adolf Hitler spoke to the Austrian Germans from the balcony of the Neuelburg, a part of the Hofburg, at the Heldenplatz. Viennese Jews were looted, deported, and murdered. Between 1938 and the end of the Second World War, Vienna lost its status as a capital to Berlin, as Austria ceased to exist and became a part of Nazi Germany. It was not until 1955 that Austria regained full sovereignty. Geography. Vienna is located in northeastern Austria, at the easternmost extension of the Alps in the Vienna Basin. The earliest settlement at the location of today's inner city was south of the Danube, while the city now spans both sides of the river. Austria is a small, predominantly mountainous country in Central Europe, approximately between Germany, Italy, and Hungary. It has a total area of more than 83,000 square kilometers, about twice the size of Switzerland. Famous people of the country are Arnold Schwarzenegger, an actor and director, Wolfgang Amadeus Mozart, a composer, and Nikolaus Lauda, a racer in Formula 1.
Helsinki is the capital and largest city of Finland. Name. When a town was founded and forced by a village in 1548, it was named Helsinki Falls, Helsinki Rapids. The name refers to the Vanhakaupunginkoski Rapids at the mouth of the river. The town was commonly known as Helsinki or Helsing, from which the contemporary Finnish name arose. History. Russian Emperor Alexander I of Russia moved the Finnish capital from Turku to Helsinki in 1812 to reduce Swedish influence in Finland. The move consolidated the city's new role and helped set it on a path of continuous growth. Despite the tumultuous nature of Finnish history during the first half of the 20th century, including the Finnish Civil War and the Winter War, which both left marks on the city, Helsinki continued its steady development. Geography. Called the daughter of the Baltic, Helsinki is on the tip of peninsula and on 315 islands. The inner city is located on the southern peninsula Helsinki-Niemi. Major islands in Helsinki include Seurasaari, Valisaari, Lauttasaari, and Korkeasaari. Famous people. Jean Sibelius, born on 8th December 1865, was a Finnish composer and violinist. And Kim Matthias Räikkönen, born on 17th October in 1979, is a Finnish racing driver currently driving in Formula 1.
Tallinn is the capital and the largest city of Estonia. Chief district, administrative city of Harju country. Thanks to the flow of the tourists, Tallinn has become one of the most important cities for Europe. In the 20th century, the city became the capital of liberated Estonia after the Germany and Russia's war. The earliest name of Tallinn include Kovian. Around 1050, the first fortress was built on Tallinn Tompea. It had a fortress wall and about 70 security towers. Tallinn's Old Town is one of the best preserved medieval cities in Europe and is listed as a UNESCO World Heritage Site. Tallinn is located in the northwestern part of Estonia. It is about 10 square kilometers away. The only major and important river passing through Tallinn is Pirita, which enters the Gulf of Finland. Lennart Meri is the first president of Estonia. Our pirate attracts numerous audience around the world with the beauty and the balance of his music style. Young Rose is the most famous and translated Estonian writer.
Stockholm is the capital of Sweden and the most populated city in the Nordic countries. The area has been settled since the Stone Age, in the 6th millennium BC, and was founded as a city in 1252 by Swedish statesman Birger Jarl. History. At the intersection of the Baltic Sea and the Lake Mälaren is an archipelago site where the old town of Stockholm was first built from about 1000 CE by Vikings. In 1634, Stockholm became the official capital of the Swedish Empire. Geography. Over 30% of the city area is made up of waterways, and another 30% is made up of parks and green spaces. The city stretches across 14 islands where Lake Mälaren flows into the Baltic Sea. Famous people of the country are Alfred Nobel, entrepreneur, Ingrid Bergman, a world-famous actress, Greta Garbo, the most famous actress of silent cinema, Astrid Lindgren, the author of Pippi Longstocking, and Bjorn Borg, a tennis player.
The city is located on the Pedio River. Ioannis Kizangeris passed away 1889. Painter, landscape designer. Christos Stylianidis, born 1958. Politician. Adamantios Diamantis, passed away 1900. Artist, realist.
Riga is the capital and the largest city of Latvia. One theory about the origin of the name Riga is that it is a corrupted borrowing from the leaf Riga meaning club, referring to the ancient natural harbor formed by the tributary loop of the Daugava River. The 20th century brought World War I and the impact of the Russian Revolution of 1917 to Riga. In consequence of the Battle of Jugla, the German army marched into Riga in September 1917. During World War II, Latvia was occupied by the Soviet Union in June 1940 and then was occupied by Nazi Germany in 1941 to 1944. Riga was the European capital of culture in 2014 during the Latvia's presidency of the Council of the European Union in 2015. The Fourth Eastern Partnership Summit took place in Riga. Riga's administrative divisions consist of 6 administrative entities. Friedrich Wilhelm Oswald, born on the 2nd of September 1853 and died on the 4th of April 1932, was a German chemist. Mikhail Baryshnikov is a Soviet and American dancer, choreographer, and actor.
Vilnius is the capital of Lithuania, as well as its largest city, with a population of 542,664 as of 2015. Vilnius is located in the southeast part of Lithuania and is the second largest city in the Baltic states. History. The city was first mentioned in written sources in 1323 as Vilna, when the letters of Grand Duke Gediminas were sent to German cities inviting Germans to settle in the capital city, as well as Pope John XXII. Historian Romas Botura identifies the city with Voruta, one of the castles of Mindaugas, crowned in 1253 as King of Lithuania. During the reign of Vytenis, a city started to emerge from a trading settlement, and the first Franciscan Catholic church was built. Geography. Vilnius lies 312 kilometers from the Baltic Sea and Klaipėda, the chief Lithuanian seaport. Vilnius is connected by highways to other major Lithuanian cities, such as Kaunas, 102 kilometers away, Šiauliai, 214 kilometers away, and Peneivezes, which is 135 kilometers away. Famous people of the country are Antoni Vivalski, a sculptor and architect, Petrus Valaisis, a millionaire, a mecenat, politician and a publisher, Davidas Semberis, a football player.
Valletta is the capital of Malta, located on the largest island in the state. The city was founded by the great master of Joanni Order Jean Paris de la Valente Pris. The history of the city is directly related to the Knights of the Order of St. John. One of the biggest sites of modern La Valletta is the building of the Parliament, which in the period between 1571 and 1574 was the official residence palace of the founder of the Knights Order of St. Jean. Since the Knights had no financial means for a longer time to build the city, they resorted to loan from Pope Pius and Spanish King Philip. Malta is located in the Maltese archipelago, consisting of 3 settlements, Malta, Gozo and Comino. The 3 uninhabited, Comino, Fiufa and St. Paul. The archipelago is located about 50 kilometers south of Sicily and 250 kilometers from North Africa. The largest island is Malta, 27 kilometers long.
Warsaw is the capital of Poland, the biggest city in the country. In the year of 1700, the Great Northern War broke out. The city was besieged several times and was obliged to pay heavy tribute. After the German invasion of Poland on 1 September 1939 started the Second World War. Warsaw was defended until 27 September. With the entry of Poland into the European Union in 2004, Warsaw is currently experiencing the largest economic boom of its history. Warsaw is an alpha global city, a major international tourist destination and a significant culture, political and economic hub. Warsaw is Europe's 4th driest capital. Nicholas Copernicus, an astronomer of the Renaissance, of Polish-German origin. Frederick Francois Chopin, Polish composer of the period of Romanticism and virtuoso pianist. Henryk Adam Alexander Pius Sienkiewicz is a Polish writer, author of historical novels.
Bratislava is the capital of Slovakia. It is the administrative center of Bratislava. The city is the only national capital bordering 2 independent countries, Austria and Hungary. Name. In March 1919, the name Bratislava, the medieval Bohemian ruler Bratislav I. The Hungarian name of the city is Poznan. Other historical names of Slovak and others are Prescott, Poznan, Istropolis, Preslava and Presburg. History. Between 1536 and 1783, Bratislava is the capital of Hungary. After the First World War, the city became part of the newly established independent Czechoslovakia. Geography. The town is situated on the Danube in the southwest of Slovakia. Bratislava is third in the least green areas. Its population is about 463,000 people. Famous people. Philip Leonard is a Hungarian physicist. Victor Rumpelmayer is an Austrian architect. Dominik Herbati is a tennis player.
Ljubljana is the capital and largest city of Slovenia. The origin of its name is unclear. In the Middle Ages, both the river and the town were also known by the German name Laibach. History. In the 15th century, Ljubljana became recognized for its art, particularly painting and sculpture. In 1918, following the end of World War I and the dissolution of Austria-Hungary, the region joined the Kingdom of Serbs, Croats and Slovenes. After World War II, Ljubljana became the capital of the Socialist Republic of Slovenia. Geography. The city, with an area of 163.8 square kilometers, is situated in the Ljubljana Basin in central Slovenia, between the Alps and the Karst. Famous people of the country are Ivan Cankar, a Slovene writer, playwright, essayist, poet, and political activist; Franz Prešeren, a 19th century Romantic Slovene poet; and Baron Yuri Bartolomei Vega, a Slovene mathematician, physicist, and artillery officer.
Budapest is the capital and the most populous city of Hungary. Budapest, harmoniously, is a combination of the cities Buda and Pest, which together with Buda united in 1873. An early documented occurrence of the combined name Budapest was in 1831 book Villach. The first settlement of the territory of Budapest was built by the Celts before 1st AD. It was later occupied by the Romans. The Roman settlement Aquincum became the main city of Pannonia Inferior in the 106th after Christ. The 7th century was dominated by the Hungarian struggle for independence and modernization. In the last decades of the 20th century, the political changes, the fall of the Iron Curtain, completed changes in civil society and along the streets of Budapest. The monuments of the dictatorship were moved from public places. Budapest, strategically placed at the center of the Carpathian Basin, lies on an ancient road linking the hills of Transbura with the Great Plain. The Dunaj enters the city from the north. Later, it inclines two islands, Buda Island and Margaret Island.
Prague is the capital and largest city in the Czech Republic, the 14th largest city in the European Union, and also the historical capital of Bohemia. History. During the 1,000 years of its existence, the city grew from a settlement stretching from Prague Castle in the north to the fort of Vyšehrad in the south, becoming the capital of a modern European country, the Czech Republic, a member state of the European Union. In 1526, the Bohemian Estates elected Ferdinand I of the House of Habsburg. The fervent Catholicism of its members was to bring them into conflict in Bohemia, and then in Prague, where Protestant ideas were gaining popularity. Prague was a city in the territory of military and political control of the Soviet Union. The biggest Stalin monument was unveiled in Letna Hill in 1955 and destroyed in 1962. Geography. Prague is situated on the Vltavadier in the center of the Bohemian Basin. Prague is approximately at the same latitude as Frankfurt, Germany, Paris, France, and Vancouver, Canada. Famous people of the country are Vladimir Holan, a poet, born, lived, and died in Prague; Jan Hus, a priest, philosopher, reformer, most important preaching done in Prague; Emil Zatopek, athlete, lived and died in Prague.
Sofia is the capital and the largest city of Bulgaria. The name Sofia comes from the Saint Sophia Church, is opposed to the prevailing Slavic etymology among Bulgarian cities and towns. Sofia has been an area of continuous human habitation since at least the 8th millennium before Christ, but others have inhabited the area 30,000 years ago. In 1385, Sofia was seized by the Ottoman Empire in the course of the Bulgarian-Ottoman Wars. During the Russo-Turkish War of 1877-1878, Süleyman Pasha threatened to burn the city in defense, but foreign diplomats refused to leave the city, thus saving it. It is situated in western Bulgaria at the northern foot of Vitusha mountain, in the Sofia valley that is surrounded by the Balkan Mountains to the north. Vale Balkanska, born on the 8th of January 1942, is a Bulgarian folk music singer. Stevka Kostadinova is a Bulgarian retired athlete who competed in the high jump.
Bucharest is the capital of Romania. It's the biggest city as well as a main cultural industrial, and financial center of the country. Name. The origin of the name of the city is unknown. The legend connects it to its founder Bokur. According to it, Bokur got lost in a thick fog, and after praying to God, the fog lifted like a miracle. As a sign of gratitude, Bokur built a small chapel where people started to settle down. That's how Bucharest was formed. The capital of Romania is also known as a small Paris because of its similarity to the French capital. History. The earliest reports of Bucharest date back to 1459, when the fortress was a residence of the Wallachian ruler Vlad Tepes. In the beginning of the 17th century, the city started gradually renovating, and later, ruled by Matei Bessarab, it became one of the two capitals of Romania, alongside Târgoviște. Geography. Bucharest is located at the southern east part of the country. The city is crossed by the Dâmbovița River. Bucharest is the second capital with most polluted air in the European Union after Sofia. Famous people of the country are Călin Popescu Terențianu, politician; Michael Cretel, musician; Florentin Petre, a football player.
Zagreb is the capital of Croatia. It is said to be an advanced city in Eastern Europe. The previous name of Zagreb is Agram, even though there are dates of occupation of the current city from Neolithic, including the Roman Empire and Notia, and its current name Zagreb is mentioned for the first time in 1094. Since 1868, the province of Croatia and Slavonia has been granted autonomy in its internal affairs, and Zagreb is the headquarters of the province governor, with the ban, the Croatian National Assembly, and the local government, which has appointed 3 ministers, the Interior, Diversity Education Department. The collection Bulgarian folk songs by the Udinov brothers were published in Zagreb in 1961. Geography. Favorable geographic located in the northwestern part of the Pannonian Basin. Zagreb extends to the Alpine, Dinner, Adriatic and Pannonian regions.
This book is for those who can read. Those are the little kids who are learning the letters from the Bulgarian alphabet. Those are the people with visual problems. Those who can see the sunrise and the sunset.